Answer Mickey. I now invite on stage Jamie Greene, MSP, and Ashley Grassick, please.
Good morning. It is still morning, isn't it? For those of you who were at last year's conference, I can confirm it is me. I've just grown a beard. But I'd like to start my speech today by saying a huge thank you. And that thank you is to everyone in this room and beyond who helped me make that jump from last year's conference as a candidate to standing here as an MSP for the West of Scotland. So thank you very much. Under the leadership of Ruth Davidson, I'm pleased to say that I'm now part of that strong opposition that we said we would be. And let's face it, there's a lot to oppose. In the Scottish Parliament, we endlessly hear excuse after excuse from the SNP administration. It's Brexit's fault. It's Westminster's fault. It's the no voters' fault. It's the Leave voters' fault. But it's never their fault, is it? Since I joined the Scottish Parliament, we have spent over 31 hours debating Brexit, and only 7 on education. Have a think about that. Perhaps it's the shock of 31 Conservative MSPs sitting in the opposition benches across from them means that they dare not give airtime to the very real issues that they so dismally fail in. When a government spends that much time talking about constitutional issues, you do have to wonder if they have any solutions to any of the problems that Scotland faces at all. But don't just take my word for it. The facts speak for themselves. After 10 years under SNP leadership, Scotland is lagging behind the rest of the UK. Dean Lockhart very eloquently gave a comprehensive and, in my view, a very damning indictment of the Scottish economy after 10 years of SNP government. But at the same time, the UK economy under a Conservative government is defying all odds. It's flying in the face of the naysayers and the doom-mongerers. The Scottish economy is growing at a third of the rate of the rest of the UK. We have higher unemployment in Scotland than the rest of the UK. Investment is lower. Productivity has declined. Business confidence is falling. I could go on. And after decades of demanding more powers for Scotland, we now have a Scottish government which is now either too scared to use them or, more likely, doesn't know how to. Now, I don't know whether the SNP has dropped the ball on this, taken their eye off the ball, or frankly, never had any in the first place. So let me say this to the SNP. Brexit will not be the nail in the coffin of a prosperous future for Scotland, but 10 more years of you in government would be. That is a certainty. So let them talk about independence, and while they do that, I will talk about innovation. Why? Because we are a country of innovators. I was very proud to hear the Prime Minister on stage this morning talk about my hometown of Greene and its innovation history. But innovation is not just in the past. Last night I received an email from an inventor in Ayrshire. An inventor, yes, they still exist, who has consistently hit brick walls whilst trying to engage with the Scottish Government. And these are his own words in his email to me yesterday. The current system demonstrably is not working, and something needs to be done to improve the Scottish economy. But I gave up trying with the Scottish Government a very long time ago. What kind of message does that send to the entrepreneurs of tomorrow? Technology can benefit every industry in Scotland: medicine, finance, transport, manufacturing, energy. And while we're talking about energy, I'm really proud to say that we are the only party to unequivocally support and defend the valuable nuclear sector in Scotland. And that includes a proposal for a new site at Hunterston in my region. Technology can be a driver for the Scottish economy in all parts of this country. I want it to be true that you can be a crofter and a coder. You can be a plumber and a programmer, but none of this is achievable without vision. And the most depressing part about being the shadow spokesman for the digital economy is that there's no one to shadow. It's funny, but it's also very sad, because despite the huge potential of the digital economy to Scotland, there is no focus on it whatsoever in the Scottish Government. But this is an industry which is not at the mercy of the global chaos of others. Technology doesn't run out when the oil reserves do. But if the skills aren't there, if the people aren't there, and if the vision is there, then we will still be having this debate in 10 years' time, and I don't want to do that. I'd like to conclude by leaving some thoughts with you. Some very important but simple thoughts. In the context that we have a government in Scotland which is focused and indeed distracted by its own plans for the breakup of our great United Kingdom, I say this: the sooner we get the Scottish Conservatives into government in Scotland, the better, I say. And more importantly, the sooner we get Ruth Davidson as the First Minister of Scotland, the better, I say. Thank you.